right now, as we speak, they have begun the assault on Al-Shifa Hospital. Now, they claim that Hamas's command and control center is underneath Al-Shifa Hospital. As a matter of fact, they say that every time they launch one of their high-tech massacres in Gaza, they said that in 2008. And let's say anybody has any doubts on this subject, it's a very easy way to resolve the question. There are thousands of people in Al-Shifa Hospital. Thousands. Reporters can go in and just check whether Israel says we have detailed evidence that there is a bunker in Gaza, a bunker in Al-Shifa, where there's the Hamas command and control center. And they send out pictures of it, images of it. You could just go down and check. It's not difficult. But of course, they're never going to allow inspections. Because right now, the main goal of Israel is very simple. It's using October 7th as the pretext for the final solution of the Gaza question. And the final solution of the Gaza question has, I would say, two parts. One part is the utter the pulverization of all of Gazan society, to reduce all of Gaza physically to rubble. It's so far destroyed or damaged 45% of all the civilian dwellings in Gaza. So about half the population will have nowhere to go back to. In fact, they literally will not know where to go back to, in the most literal sense, because the whole area is going to be reduced to something between a garbage dump and a parking lot. It'll just be flat. So as you look for your home, you're going to be looking into a horizon, and you won't have a clue even where you live. You won't know.
Well, first of all, the Palestinians were offered a state in 1936 in the Peel Commission. They rejected it. They were offered a state in 1947, the UN Partition Plan. They rejected it. They were offered a state in 1967 after Israel conquered Judea and Samaria and the West Bank. They rejected it. They were offered a state in 2000, Yasser Arafat, Ehud Barak. They rejected it. They were offered a state with Ehud Olmert, 2008. They rejected it. Israel unilaterally withdrew from Gaza in 2005, and they did not create a state.
Claim is that the Arabs did not reject peace, and then in your own disquisition, you admitted that the Arabs rejected the Peel Commission plan, which was a separation between the Jews and the Arabs, which gave an extraordinary amount of land to the Arabs. The Arabs then rejected the peace partition plan proposed by the United Nations in 1947. They then proceeded to reject the Oslo Accords in 93. After that, they rejected the Wye River Accords in 98. They rejected Ehud Barak's very generous offer in 2000.
Impossible to disentangle all the nonsense that's being said there. So I'll limit myself to some very basic facts, which the record unimpeachably demonstrates. Since beginning in the early 1970s, long before Hamas even existed, the Palestinian leadership in the PLO, it was called the Palestine Liberation Organization, led by this fellow named Yasser Arafat. And the Palestinians were on record as supporting a two-state settlement based on the June 1967 border, what has come to be called the international consensus. 2 states on the June 1967 border. And for the past 20 or so years, every year in the United Nations General Assembly, there is a resolution passed or a resolution put forth called Peaceful Settlement of the Palestine Question. And the terms of the settlement are very straightforward. Number one, that Israel has to withdraw from the territories it occupied in June 1967, namely the West Bank, including East Jerusalem and Gaza. Number two, the settlements Israel has built in the occupied Palestinian territories now numbering about 700,000 or more Jewish settlers, are illegal under international law, and those settlements have to be dismantled. Number three, there has to be what's called a just resolution of the refugee question based on the right of return. And number four, the Palestinians should be able to exercise their right of self-determination in the territories from which Israel withdraws. Those are the terms of international law, and those are the terms embedded in that annual resolution, peaceful settlement of the Palestine question. Every year, the whole world, except the United States, Israel, and some South Pacific atolls, islands, Tuvalu, Nauru, Tonga. Aside from those Marshall Islands, aside from them, the whole world votes on one side. Israel and the United States vote on the other side. That's the record. The whole world has been wanting to try to resolve this problem on the basis of international law and the basic principles as applied of international law as applied to the Israel-Palestine conflict, and Israel and the U.S. have rejected it. There are so many silly, stupid comments by those folks because they don't know what they're talking about. They just get Israel talking points and they have no clue what they're talking about. So that to me is the essence of